Live from clickorlando.com, this is News 6. This is a News 6 Plus takeover. Here now is Solutionaries.
Welcome to Solutionaries. I'm Lewis Bolden. This is a resignation letter. That's because more teachers are calling it quits. It's a problem here in Florida and in districts from Alaska to Maine, made worse by the pandemic. New research from Chalkbeat shows teacher turnover hit a new high in 2022. Teachers report feeling underappreciated, overworked, and just plain burnt out. And on top of all of that, many don't feel safe in their own classrooms. Here on Solutionaries, we've covered school safety and shown you how leaders are finding new ways to save lives. Now a new survey shows teachers are split about whether arming themselves could prevent the next school shooting.
Gun violence and school safety are top of mind for every community, especially for parents, students, and teachers. Now, a Rand Corporation survey finds 1 in 5 teachers say they would be interested in carrying a gun to school. 20% believe teachers carrying a gun would make schools safer, but 54% believed armed teachers would make schools less safe. And 26% feel either way, it would not make a difference.
I think that they're just under a lot of stress.
Emily Rovar is a licensed social worker at Gen Psych. She says teachers today bear a greater burden.
Not only are they teaching our children, they are having to be mental health professionals in a way, dealing with high emotions, dealing with kids in distress. And then in the back of their mind, they always have the thought of what if someone does come in this school.
And while guns are certainly a big worry, the survey shows teachers' top safety concern is bullying. Rovar says social media plays a big role and makes situations a lot worse.
It is something that is really pervasive and it's increasing. And it's something that we need to talk about and do something about.
Her suggestions: increasing the presence of safety officers and mental health professionals in schools, steps that could help students and their teachers feel safer.
That survey also found teachers think it's important to have a system where threats can be reported and addressed. In Florida, leaders have found solutions like P3 Campus. It's an app that allows students and staff to file police reports from their smartphones. Another app called Fortify Florida was developed by the state's Department of Law Enforcement after the Parkland school shootings as a tool to report threats. It's that tragedy that led to a sweeping safety measure that employs armed school guards in Florida schools. The program was then expanded to allow trained teachers to carry on campus. Solutionaries producer Katrina Scales is taking a look at how the Coach Aaron Feist School Guardian program is working in Central Florida.
On February 14th, 2018, Aaron Feist, a security guard and coach at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School, ran toward the gunfire and used his body to shield students from a hail of bullets.
He would do anything for us, and that proved it. I just wish that he didn't have to do that to prove it.
The Parkland shooting forced state leaders to reshape the future of school safety.
Florida will never be the same.
It was one of the most immediate and significant changes, a Marshall program that allows teachers and staff to be armed after undergoing training, named for the beloved coach who died protecting his students. More than 5 years later, the majority of Florida school districts have enrolled in the Coach Aaron Feist School Guardian program.
I did not want to be in a position to where I could have done something and was not able to.
Lake County was one of the early adopters.
At the time the new legislation was being enacted, our board felt that it was best to start with training administrative personnel as safe school officers.
I spoke with Joseph Mabry, the Director of Safety and Security for Lake County Schools. He's also one of the district's 47 school guardians, none of which are classroom teachers.
And when you say administrative personnel, just so I know, are we talking about front office people? Who are those?
No, administrative personnel being defined as principals, assistant principals, or those in a professional managerial district role.
The district also hires safe school officers to protect students.
Former law enforcement, military, or security guard experienced individuals.
The training for this role is intense. In 2022, our cameras were given an up-close look of shooting simulations in real classrooms.
And it's important to note that the firearm proficiency standard for safe school officers is actually higher than that of law enforcement officers through the FDLE guidelines. So the expectations to become a safe school officer are very high.
there was yelling and there was the blanks and then there was like someone cowering. I mean, like it was realistic.
During training, we try to make it realistic as possible because we know in a situation there is going to be chaos and there's going to have to be discretion used and there's going to be a lot of noise. And so that's why it's important for our folks to train like we do over the summertime when the campuses are not occupied.
Volusia County has similar rigorous standards.
It's a pretty intense training, but at the same time, we also throughout the school year try to mentally prepare the guardians for anything that could come up so that they're ready and can handle a crisis at any time.
Captain Todd Smith is the Director of Safety and Security for Volusia County Schools and also works for the Sheriff's Office.
We all work together as a team. We put our hearts and soul into it. You know, there's Volusia County is a very large geographic area with a lot of different schools. We have around 65,000 students. So there's a lot at stake and a lot that we have to try to coordinate to ensure that we're all on the same page and working towards the same mission. And, you know, recently we've really been pumping out the mission statement for the guardians so that they know exactly what their mission is and what we want of them. And they're ready to do their job.
Unlike the armed officers captured on video hesitating in the hallway during the Uvalde, Texas school shooting in 2022, Captain Smith says his team is always ready to act.
We just try to keep it at the forefront of their mind what they need to do in the event of a crisis, that they need to consistently push forward, they need to never quit, they need to ensure that they're going to act in the time of crisis and that they're going to behave the way that they were trained to behave. And we try to keep them at the forefront, their mental preparedness at the forefront of their minds so that they know exactly what we expect of them and that the citizens of Volusia County are all counting on them to act in a crisis and to be there when we need them.
Security Operations Coordinator Chastity Burke says being a school guardian in Volusia County is a full-time job. No armed classroom teachers or administrative personnel.
We have a lot of guardians in our schools, in all our schools. All they focus on is making sure everything is secure, making sure all the gates, all the doors are shut. That is their only duty, is there to make sure that anything suspicious, they report it immediately.
The ability to network with those kids and build bridges and learn who they are, network with them to ensure that if they see something, that they say something is really invaluable.
Both districts fortify schools in other ways as well, including mental health services for students.
We have to deal with these things that are unlike when some of us were in school, but it is a real threat every day. It's a new day, and we're always on guard. We have measures in place that we hope we never have to use, but we are prepared in the event that we do, and that's the approach that we take.
Still ahead on Solutionaries, an answer to keeping teachers on the payroll.
I had big plans to jet off somewhere, and I think that my student internship here at ACE, I just fell in love with the kids, with the staff, with the community, and I knew I had to stay here.
And schools looking for help beyond the border.
So that's just yet another avenue that we're looking at to help fill that pipeline for teachers. We're working not only with international agencies, just like we're working with our university partners.
Rethinking teaching, just ahead. Welcome back to Solutionaries. I'm Lewis Bolden. On today's show, we're focusing on teachers and the creative thinkers who are trying to save the profession. With hundreds of vacancies, school leaders in Volusia County are trying a new approach to make sure classrooms are staffed.
Recruitment and retention coordinator for Volusia County Schools, Sydney Fuller, says the school district is taking a multi-layer approach when it comes to recruiting and retaining their teachers.
We're definitely looking to add more support with our new teacher academy that we're going to be launching, that's going to have mentor support available at the school level for all of our new hires.
Part of that approach includes not only thinking outside of the box, but outside the country. Fuller says they have 20 international teachers coming this fall.
So that's just yet another avenue that we're looking at to help fill that pipeline for teachers. We're working not only with international agencies, just like we're working with our university partners. And so it's not an all one thing, like I said, right? It's that multi-leveled approach to making sure that we're able to support what's coming into the classroom.
Local candidates are also interested, like Nicole Stojanovic, who is from the area and hopes to teach high school social studies.
I really want to change people's life or give kids an opportunity to better themselves that they might not get outside of the school.
More than 300 support roles are also open, including nearly 100 custodial positions. School board member Ruben Colon says those open positions are part of the reason why the total number of vacancies is so high.
For many years, we were contracted with a private company for the custodial services and grounds maintenance of our schools. And so we're bringing those back in-house. We found that having that ownership, having them be a part of the team was essential, and it was something that we were missing. So we've, for the last 2 years, had a pilot project, and this is the first year where all the custodians are going to be employees of Volusia County Schools.
Whether kids are in school or on break, leaders are always looking for solutions to the teacher shortage. But hiring is only half the battle. Retaining teachers can be even more challenging. Solutionaries reporter Eric Sandoval found a school changing the system by forming long-lasting relationships with its employees.
We are in downtown Orlando this morning, and we are about to take you in that place right there. That is the ACE School, and it is a Title I school. That means most, if not all, of the kids who go there are eligible for a free or reduced lunch. You're going to hear from the principal and teachers who say working here isn't always easy, but they say it's rewarding, and more importantly, they feel like they're making a difference. And at a time when school districts across the country are struggling with teacher shortages, turnover rates at schools like this one can be 50%, sometimes higher. But not here. And that's thanks to an innovative new project that's bringing good teachers on campus, and more importantly, it's keeping them here.
Good morning, guys. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Come on, come on. School starts in about 4 minutes. Our main goal is to really to get students onto campus safe every morning, getting them in the building and getting them ready to learn. Girls, head on to gate number 2. So this is OCPS, Academic Center for Excellence. We are a K-8 school. We're about 6 years old, and we serve the wonderful community of Paramore.
Every morning, Seth Dobbs starts his day out here.
Good morning, good morning.
On the street.
We have lots of parents. A lot of our students are walkers, so we're just making sure they get onto campus safely, into the building, and ready to learn for the day today.
Because making a difference at a Title I school,
so I try to pop around to encourage them to have a great day, make smart choices.
Often means putting in time outside the classroom.
I just love standing on the corner, just seeing the kids coming to school. They're excited, they're happy, they're smiling. We have a student like running, so excited to get into the gate so he can get to class. That's exciting. Good morning.
Dobb is the principal of the ACE School in downtown Orlando, where every student is considered economically disadvantaged. But Dobb will tell you what they may lack at home, they make up for in potential.
Let's count our jumps. Ready? Count with me.
But it takes great teachers to realize these possibilities.
Good, 3.2. And how did you know?
Teachers like Laura Bell Corbin. Corbin is in her first year, but this is not where she thought her career would take her.
I had big plans to jet off somewhere, and I think that my student internship here at ACE, I just fell in love with the kids, with the staff, with the community, and I knew I had to stay here.
And that was by design.
We've got how many after our 4?
Corbin was part of a first-of-its-kind education project between the University of Central Florida and the Orange County Public School System. It's called the Teacher Quality Partnership, and the idea here is to get teaching students into Title I schools and give them a reason to stay.
I mean, you definitely hear like, oh, it's harder, you're gonna hate it, there's gonna be challenges.
I think sometimes there is a little bit of burnout when you're working with Title I schools, because you're working so hard, you're doing so much work.
This is a tricky one. This is a tricky one.
We're trying to struggle with providing our students with the current grade level content that they need to be successful, but sometimes they lack in some foundational skills. So our teachers have to sometimes juggle both things in the classroom.
But here, new teachers like Corbin have the benefit of working alongside professors from UCF, the school they just graduated from. And that relationship starts with internships here on campus, starting their senior year.
Most clinical supervision is done, I call it a drive-by model, that I show up as a university person, I show up at the assigned time, I do my little observation, and then I leave. In this particular model, it's very different. That university clinical coordinators are called professors in residence.
I've done some observations in your classroom in the last a couple of weeks.
Cheryl Vandemark is one of those professors in residence.
The lesson was amazing. You want to tell them a little bit about how you did it?
Group chats like this one happen regularly.
So it's like, okay, I saw they weren't getting it, so I'm giving them that extra so that they can get it.
It's basically a chance for students to talk through the issues they've encountered in their classrooms.
Let's problem solve when there's one student who just loves to give me a hard time.
Vandemark has an office here at the Academic Center for Excellence, and she regularly shadows first-year teachers, sometimes playing the role of the classroom assistant.
So I get to walk into their classrooms. I get to say, you know, what's something that you're struggling with and what is it that I can do? Can we co-teach? And we know that the research tells us folks leave teaching if they don't feel that support. So we're seeing a lot of folks last maybe 3 to 5 years, and then they're saying, you know, I don't know how to do this anymore. I'm not feeling good about it anymore.
This is actually my first year with the program, and I absolutely love it. I honestly feel like I have a family now, and I don't think my passion would be as strong if I didn't have the support that was necessary.
They are a solution to a problem, and the problem is recruiting teachers that are able to live their passion after they graduate. We do a great job of filling them with knowledge about the curriculum and the content. We are just the way the world is organized in education across the country, we don't have the options to have that level of support.
But here, thanks to a federal grant which pays for the program, they do. And the numbers tell us it's working.
It works because it's almost like a straight, like a connection from schools and studies to working.
Intern placement in partner schools has increased 238%. And when those interns graduate, twice as many are staying in the Orange County Public School system.
What do we remember about electrical energy and different charges? Remember, a battery has a positive and a negative side. If you need a reminder, it's on the side.
Tamara Youssef teaches 5th grade science, and she is one of those teachers.
As a first year, it's kind of hard. You're kind of thrown in. There's a lot of things you have to learn. But being an intern in a TQP gave me that support that I needed to learn and get help, make mistakes and get help, so that when I was on my own, it was okay. And I had the resources and the support to help me. So that's exactly what people who are studying to be teachers need.
The program is gaining national attention, winning the Urban Education Impact Award last year.
We just received that national award that Stanford won last year. Why? Because we have connected people that share this vision, that share their ideas to say, let's try this. Or what about this, Dr. Little? Maybe we could do this.
I love it here. I love my kids, and I want to be here and serve this community specifically as long as I'm able.
The work you're going to do in a Title I school is going to be a lot. You're going to put a lot of work in, but it pays off when you see a student who is struggling academically that passes assessments and the light bulbs go off.
Now count backwards from 10. Go 10.
9.
We need to continue to build up future teachers and then future leaders within education, and I think this is a great way to do it.
Good. Thank you.
Here's the thing, the grant for the Teacher Quality Partnership actually ends later on this year, but the good news is the university and the district are in talks to make sure that what is happening here continues.
Here on Solutionaries, we are always looking for solutions to tough issues affecting you, like the challenges with balancing work and family.
This ideal worker notion in the past that you separate your personal life and focus on your professional life while at work at least is not sustainable.
And the Solutionaries working to make sure every mother is supported.
Sometimes there is help, but people make you have to jump through hoops to get it.
A size 6?
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
It's not like that here. It's so easy. Like Kay says, all you have to do is ask.
It's all free on the new 6 Plus app for your smart TV. Just download it and start watching.